that wonderful? And we will ding along. I don't even know what that means. All right, so I'll try to guide you through this record as best I can. Don't worry, it won't be that hard to follow. So we begin our story with a welcome from the love-struck groom.
Well, I would just like to thank you all for coming. I tell you, I must be some lucky fellow to think that I, Robert Martin, would be marrying a glamorous showgirl, and that glamorous showgirl would be willing to give up a successful career on the stage to marry me, Robert Martin. Now, if it weren't for prohibition, I'd say let's raise a glass.
Hear, hear!
To Miss Janet Van de Graaff, the most beautiful girl in the world.
Well, absolutely not!
Excuse me, I don't think you...
A groom doesn't see his bride on the day of the wedding. It's bad luck.
I hope you heard that because that's the plot. Basically, hang on for the ride.
Breakfast will be served in the Arabian room.
Say, this is a little bit early to be drinking.
I don't understand the question.
You're here to keep Janet away from Robert. You're the chaperone. That's your only job.
Aye, Mom, capital.
Who's the little monkey?
I am! I'm a little monkey!
So, the bride and groom are whisked away, and we turn our attention to the B plot, which involves the producer.
Mr. Feltic!
Getting married and leaving show business.
Mr. Feltic!
Doesn't she know I have obligations?
Mr. Feltic!
What?
I can be a leading lady. You said it yourself. I'm useless in the chorus.
Kitty, you ain't got what it takes.
But I've been taking lessons. Singing, acting, ballet.
Ballet.
Yeah, and I'm getting pretty good too. Last week I auditioned for Swanee Lake.
A little annotation. Kitty and Feldzig were actually a couple in real life, Jack and Sadie Adler. Now, this is a familiar comic construct, a stupid woman and her long-suffering companion. Well, she appears stupid, but in the end she does something clever and makes everyone wonder whether it's all just an act. The irony here is that Sadie actually was quite stupid. Yeah, Jack had to explain all the jokes to her, apparently. But he did have a wonderful career on the stage. Back then, theater was the only place where stupid people could earn a decent living. Well, this was before television, of course.
I don't have time for this.
A penny for Mr. Feltic.
Not now.
Perhaps a nice profiterole.
Girls, I'm not hungry.
Perhaps we could give you something else to chew on. Yeah, something that ain't food.
What?
Your confusion is to be expected. Although we stand before you in the guise of innocent pastry chefs, we are also, and primarily, employees of a certain individual.
A certain individual?
A certain individual who happens to be the largest single investor of the Feldzig's Follies. He has sent us here as pastry chefs to express his concern about Miss Van de Graaff's impending nuptials. Specifically, that if she gets married and leaves the show, then there ain't no show.
Say, don't I know you?
No, you don't.
Well, have you ever spent any time in Toledo?
Have you ever spent any time in a coma?
No, but I have a cousin in Seattle.
Girls, you can tell your boss this. There's not going to be a wedding. You have my word on it.
Oh, we'll take your void, all right. But to go back on that void would be a recipe for disaster. Now, we hope we have made ourselves perfectly eclair. One can only hope. You've gotta be kidding me. A trifle much? Don't talk with me.
You can drop the pastry chef routine.
Alas, We ganache. We're on the lamb. Lamb's an entree macaroon.
The gangsters were played by interchangeable vaudeville duo, the Tull sisters, Jane and Patricia Tull. Well, they were born Ruth and Esther Moss-Loskowitz, but were later renamed at Ellis Island by a sarcastic immigration official. They were an early example of the typical Broadway gangster, full of wordplay and stylized movements. Not very intimidating. Well, unless you find dancers intimidating, which I do, but for reasons that would not be appropriate to the situation.
We'll leave the matter in your hands, Mr. Feldzig. For now, feel free to browse the design carousel. Try the Toledo surprise. It's to die for.
Holy cats, Mr. Feldzig. They're gangsters.
Really? Very perceptive. Now go pounding your face. Gotta stop this wedding. But how? Oh, Lord in heaven, how?
I always thought that moment was a little overplayed. So with the story well on its way, let's go to the groom's room.
Hey there, handsome. Show me those pearly whites.
The groom was played by the dashing Percy Hyman. He started out as the Albright toothpaste man, remember? His fabulous smile adorned every tune. Albright toothpaste was widely popular in the early 20s because it contained cocaine. Well, yeah, it's true. If you looked at the label, it was the 5th ingredient down, right after sugar. Anyway, it wasn't long before he became a huge matinee idol.
Now, don't you worry. It's perfectly normal for a groom to feel nervous on his wedding day. It is. Of course!
I love Percy Hyman. Now, some people say he was a bad actor, but to those people I say, shut up.
Hey there, Mr. Mirror Man. Shaking and a-quaking, trembling like them stray cats do. Something big